What's up people, welcome back to the channel. Dan here, how are you guys doing? So being someone that has gone from the skinny guy to bulking up too quickly, gaining a decent amount of muscle but also a lot of fat, I can now tell you how not to do it, and these are the three most common bulking mistakes that I've seen and ones that I've made myself, and I want you guys to learn from this and not make the same mistakes yourself. So hopefully this speeds up the process for you. Reminder to drop the video a like, subscribe for more content if you are new around here, and let's get into these tips. One of the biggest mistakes, most common mistakes, number one, is increasing your calories too quickly or going into too big a calorie surplus. If you are a new lifter, someone that's new to lifting, then the stimulus that you're providing in the gym is all new to your body, and your body is going to rapidly adapt to this new training stimulus. And the rate that you can build muscle at the start is a lot quicker than the diminishing returns you get as an intermediate to advanced lifter. So you can get away with a bit of a bigger calorie surplus, upward of 500 calorie surplus per day, if you even upward towards 1,000 if you are a new lifter. But for any of us that have been lifting for any period of time, you generally want to be more cautious and stay in the 250 to 500 calorie surplus roughly. But this way that you are going to put yourself in this anabolic environment where muscle protein synthesis is high, and you are in this anabolic environment to giving yourself the best opportunity to build muscle in the gym by eating more, having more carbohydrates and fueling your workouts better, which means that you can push yourself more in the gym to progressively overload your training. So this is the sweet spot in terms of getting into a surplus but not gaining too much fat. So stay within a shallow calorie surplus, somewhere between 250 to 500 calories in general. Once you have gone into this calorie surplus, you want to track your body weight over time. So see which way your weight moves. Take a daily weigh-in at the same time of day, preferably in the morning when you're most dehydrated and carrying less water weight. Then when you take the weekly average and look at the trending over time, if your body weight is coming up on average, then you are in a calorie surplus on a weekly basis. So there's no need to increase the calories further if your body weight is already coming up on your bulk. If your weight gain plateaus and your weight stalls for a couple of weeks, at that point you can look at increasing the calories by say 100 a day and go again, and repeat this process over time. So slow and steady iteration in this process. So by gradually tapering up the calories over time, about 100 a day, when weight gain stalls, you are not going to see drastic changes or put on too much fat. So my second biggest bulking mistake for you is overestimating your calorie expenditure through exercise and NEAT, which is non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is a fancy way of saying movement outside of your gym sessions and your planned cardio sessions. Keeping activity levels high generally is the key for general well-being and health, for cardiovascular health, but also is so important for ensuring that you're not going into too big a calorie surplus. When I first went on my first ever bulk, I used a calorie estimator online, thought that I was being very active, and at this point I hadn't discovered doing daily steps, which is odd. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I do a lot of steps these days. But having said that, back in those days I was training 4 or 5 times a week consistently and pushing myself in the gym, but because I wasn't doing enough movement in terms of keeping active through a step count and not doing enough cardio, it meant that when I was going into this calorie surplus and shooting for say 3,500 calories a day, the estimator online was saying that my burn was going to be around 3,000, when in actual fact it was probably a lot lower than that, because that activity multiplier that the online calculators will apply will assume that you are hitting a high step count or that you're highly active outside of the gym as well. So ensure that you are not going into too big a calorie surplus by skipping the cardio. Just because you're looking to build muscle and you want to go into this bulking gaining phase, it doesn't mean ditch the cardio completely, because you need a functioning heart and lungs. Like, how are you going to go and lift weights if you're out of breath after 2 reps? It's not beneficial to get really fat and out of shape in terms of cardiovascular health on a bulk. So ensure that you're doing at least one high intensity cardio session per week. So my third bulking mistake for you today is not pushing yourself enough in the gym. And I think this is a really common one. It's so important that you are putting those extra calories to good use. If you are increasing your calories and going into a calorie surplus, you're probably increasing your carbs quite significantly compared to when you were in a cutting phase or at maintenance. However, if you're not putting that extra energy from the calories you're consuming to use by pushing yourself and challenging yourself in the gym, then it's not really going to you're not forcing your body to adapt, are you? If you go in and lift the same weights every week over a number of weeks and months, and the calories keep going up, you're not forcing your body to adapt, and you're not going to build muscle. So this is going to lead to a lot more potential risk of gaining fat. Providing that you are pushing yourself in the gym and you are progressing in your lifts, you are forcing your body to adapt to the new stimulus, and therefore you're far more likely to build muscle. If you're progressing in your lifts, your form is good, and you are consuming sufficient protein, and you're in a calorie surplus, you're in the optimum environment to build muscle, and you definitely will build muscle. It's really, really important to keep yourself accountable and actually go in with the right mindset. You've got to go into the gym thinking, oh, I'm going to absolutely smash this workout. I'm going to get more reps than last week, or I'm going to up the weight from last week, and believing in yourself that you are going to push yourself and actually hit those PRs. So it's really, really important to push yourself in the gym and to challenge yourself. What is the point in turning up to the gym if you're just going to half-ass it? There's literally no point, is there? You may as well just go home. So I would say just push yourself and go for it. Challenge yourself, and you can definitely get some great results. As soon as you start mentally switching on in your sessions and really focusing on the progression in your lifts, you'll see your results skyrocket. So there you have it, 3 of the most common bulking mistakes. Recap quickly for you to summarize. Number 1 was increasing the calories too quickly, going into too big a calorie surplus and rushing the bulk essentially. 2 is not doing enough cardio or NEAT and overestimating your calorie expenditure such that your calorie surplus becomes too big. You also want to focus on ensuring that you're actually doing some cardio for your overall health. And number 3 is not challenging yourself and progressively overloading your training. So make sure that you are putting the extra calories to good use and progressing your lifts in the gym. I really hope you enjoyed today's video and you took some tips from it. Reminder to drop the video a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a great rest of your day. See you later. Bye.